Amro was able to hit Whiting in the flat on a flood. He was uncovered, and Whiting was able to, with his great speed, get down to about the Townie 4 and a gain of 51.
And the only thing stopping a Whiting celebration was LaFond on that tackle.
LaFond stayed with him and chased him down.
Easily, well, let's watch the play right here before we get back to that run. Amro.
Patoma.
Touchdown. Bobby Patoma.
4-yard touchdown run for the Townies.
Bobby, I like the way they're mixing it up. You know, you're not just seeing Whiting, you're not just seeing Maziot, but Patoma's seeing a lot of action.
Yeah, they're using all aspects. They're using a lot of different weapons there. And it literally looks early on here that Woonsocket does not have the ability to stop them.
Conversion, 18-7. Again, you hear some of the fans saying kick the ball, but I don't think they realize the field conditions here are not conducive right now for the kick. As you said, that snap can go awry, and you know, eventually I'm sure Jim Wilson will get a shot at the flag, and it is just straight out diagonally across the field, and that has a big impact when you're trying to kick the ball.
Coach Gorham here is a little hot with his offense as he's had them for the last 2 minutes there out here, and he's unhappy with the fact that they were unable to execute there, and they should have gone right into the end zone. A little bit of a poor pitch there by Amro. Patoma wasn't able to handle it, and he is a little bit irate at this point, as you can hear him all the way up here, Bob.
Yeah, Sandy Gorham not happy on the sidelines, and I tell you, I like that when a coach is not happy and you're winning. That's good. Get these kids their heads in the game.
Yeah, complacency isn't good.
Brings back some memories. I remember a game many a moon ago, and Bill Stringfellow was head coach. You may have been playing, Bob, and I happened to come late as we see the kickoff, and Coach Stringfellow was really screaming and yelling at his team at halftime. I figured, boy, the Townies are really down. I looked at the scoreboard. We were ahead 32-0. And old Beansy was giving it to the Townies, but something that good coaches have to do. And right now, hats off to head coach Sandy Gorham. His assistants are John Stringfellow, Jay Montero, Steve Ceccarella. Had a big game in the city yesterday. It's old news by the time fans are watching this broadcast, but the annual Martin Riverside game, in which an undefeated Riverside Junior High School won over a tough Martin Junior High team. Riverside, Bob, is everybody's favorite to win the state championship this year.
Well, that's you know, that's always a good sign when the two junior highs are having a good team, because when they both have good teams, it's a great feeder system for this high school, and you just look at continued years of success up here at the high school level.
1st and 10 from the 35. Woonsocket, all kinds of motion on the field. Looked like everybody was offside on that one.
Yeah, it looks like everybody on Woonsocket now is trying to get off the ball, trying to just that extra little bit, as they're down now 18-7, and they want to put one on the board here. Looks like it'll be about 6.5 minutes. Woonsocket's got a timeout. We're getting to the point now, Woonsocket may appear to be a little bit desperate, as they have not been able to do anything the last 2 series, and the Townies, each and every time they've had the ball, have marched right down and scored.
There'll be a Hall of Fame induction ceremony today at halftime, along with ceremonies crowning the king and queen for tonight's homecoming dance.
Big weekend in East Providence. Red and white all over the city. Homecoming dance at the high school tonight. Hall of Fame induction ceremony was held on last night, Friday night, as we tape this game, on Saturday afternoon. First and 15 after the offside penalty. Find the ball carrier being chased. Flag on the play.
Yeah, it's going to come back as that's a crackback block as Ray Smith was nailed in the back as he was on his way to make the tackle.
Clock has 6 minutes, 22 seconds to go in the first half. East Providence up 18-7 over a very game Villanovan squad from Woonsocket. You see the penalty being marched off. Through the years, Bob, Woonsocket has given the Townies some very, very tough football games.
Yes, they have, and they've been very good games in the past here, as Woonsocket also has fielded some pretty good teams in the last few years.
So the officials mark off half the distance to the goal line on that penalty.
It's going to be first and 30 here, Bob. On the Woonsocket has the ball on their own 15 as it's first and 30.
First and 30 from the 15 for the Villanovan.
Watch for a big rush by the Townies as they creep up to the line. Jackson breaking free. Finally dragged down by Sean Brady.
Looked like he got the first down, as I think he got just over the 45-yard line. And that's what happens when you try to rush a lot of people, not expecting a run, and they were able to get outside. Jackson broke one tackle, was able to get it to the 46-yard line.
About a 31-yard run.
Unbelievable 31-yard run by Jackson. Getting them out of a big hole with 6 minutes to go in the first half.
That's a huge play. That right there is a huge play. You have a team first and 30, and you let them get 31 yards.
Ball at the 45, first and 10.
Straight dive, no gain.
Snuffed out by Brady and Woods.
Saravo had no running room that time.
Doug Piver in a tackle, 58. Sean Brady is 85. Piver is 58. So let me get that straight. I may have misidentified a couple of the Townie tacklers. Second down, second and 10. Just across the 45.
Should be going to the left here. Yep, there we go.
Jackson running behind some blockers, finding the opening to the 40 of the Townies.
Jackson again, another strong run in the game. 15 yards that time. Bob, it just appears that he was just bowling over and running over the Townie defenders there.
Woonsocket with some impressive and very effective running, to say the least. Has some time to punch one over before the half. Alex Woods there first, Brian Amro, and then Piver in to finish it off.
You're going to tell your linebackers to watch out for that 25. He failed to mental that time. Fences back. Second and 10 here, Bob, and again, Townie's making some hits, but it doesn't appear to be. They're not wrapping their arms and making the tackles.
Saravo, not much.
Off tackle that time. Saravo hit by Martins and Barry Tuthill.
4-minute warning now being given by the officials. Bob, very dangerous here now as Woonsocket, with 4 minutes, has plenty of time left, and East Providence obviously wanting to stop the Villanovans. And
Well, you see, if Woonsocket's able to score here and get a 2-point conversion, they'd only be down 3.
Bob, again, it looks like a series of poor tackling by East Providence.
Yeah, LaFond again, just a few little dances and shakes, and he was able to get it looks like 9 yards. But again, it just appears to be poor tackling here. Is that they have their shots, and they're not able to make the plays. And right now it's 4th and 1. I don't believe Woonsocket's thrown the ball yet, have they, Bob?
Haven't seen one, I don't believe, and they've been effective when they've had to be.
Straight line backs here. First down.
Bravo being dragged down by Tuthill, but not before another first down.
Yeah, but you're exactly right a second ago when you said they've been effective when they had to be. And that time on 4th and 1, they were able to get 6 yards. Saravo was fullback, just straight right up the middle on a little dive. Not very sophisticated offense here, Bob, today by Woonsocket, but it's been very effective.
And once again, this seems to mirror what has been happening to East Providence all season long. The first half, they struggle, they get ahead, they look like the better team, and let's hope that they can pull ahead. But right now, across the 10-yard line, he's going to score for Woonsocket. That's Jackson.
Jackson this time, but he was helped out by a big block by number 25, the flanker. Mannion came down and was able to crack back on the linebacker and was able to make a big play as he just, it looks like he just delays at the line of scrimmage and then just waits for the linebacker to feed toward the play, and then he just comes in and makes a big block.
Yeah, nothing, as you said a moment ago, nothing sophisticated here. They're just...
straightaway power football, that's all it looks like to me. And the Townies, because of their poor tackling, most of the first half now have not been able to, and they've elected to kick here. Surprised me a little bit.
Well, he's got the wind at his back. It's blowing to the right. And sure enough, the ball goes in the direction of that strong wind.
Did you see the snap that time, though? Again, that snap was the reason for that miss. As the snap was off to the right of the holder or to the back of the holder, and the holder did a good job in catching the ball and putting it down.
Later on this week, the Townie Sports Network will be bringing you Townie Soccer. East Providence against Mount Hope. Chuck Vermette did the play-by-play for that soccer contest, and you can see that this week, Wednesday and Thursday on Channel 46, the Townie Sports Network. As we speak here, this game will be telecast Monday evening at 9 p.m. and
For the rebroadcast of this game Monday evening
Tuesday at 8:30.
9 p.m. and Tuesday at 8:30. Rebroadcast of this game Monday night 9, Tuesday at 8:30 on the Townie Sports Network.
Bob, maybe we can get to the point that we can have a live broadcast, maybe like a Thanksgiving Day. That would be very interesting. I know that it's something that you'd like to explore.
Well, it is, and I tell you, although it would be technically difficult, it could be done. Sometimes, as we watch the kickoff here, I have mixed emotions as it looked like they went offside.
Yeah, he was offside. The kicker stepped over the line. The other guy? Yeah. 34. Saravo stepped over the line.
But just to finish that last thought, I would never hope that a live telecast would take people away from the game, have them sit at home. We always urge everybody to come on out and be here at the stadium. But you're right, we'd like to expand and do a lot more things, and as always, we ask for volunteers to help us. As with the win, now the ball will be held by Sean Jarvis. Saravo to kick from the 35. Nice long low one. Rocha Rocha waiting for some blockers. Actually, Bob, he ran away from his blocking
Yeah,
ball.
it looked like the return was set up to the right, and Rocha, for some reason, looked to come out here to the left side, and he just ran out of red jerseys.
Waiting.
I'll tell you, if I'm on the field, I mean, I don't want to get hit. I'm going to go behind the red jerseys. Feel safer.
That's the way I'd be running, too. I don't think I would, I'd be running away from him. But it looked like he had about 6 or 7 guys up the right side waiting to make a block for him, and he ran away from it.
Easier said than done on our part, though. We're in a nice protected booth up here, although it's cold in here. Emerald set. Emerald with the ball, option, still has it. All you can hear was crunching on that one.
Emerald did a good job to get about 5 yards on the play, as he was as Woonsocket looked to have that play snuffed out. And an option can only work if you have to option one man. If you have more than one guy down there to option, then you have a lot of problems because then it's being covered.
2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first half. Emerald.
Option again.
It's for Torma. First down and more.
All kinds of flags out of the field here. This was probably going to come back.
So unfortunately, it appears this one may come back, as Fatoma had gotten the ball all the way to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, clip.
There were clipping penalties as East Providence.
Somehow, Bob Duarte, I would not want to be in the Townie huddle at halftime.
No, I think
coaching staff.
Coach Gorham is going to have a lot to say, and I don't think he's going to be calm about it.
25-yard line.
I'm sure the players would rather be in the stands watching the halftime show, watching the show that they're going to receive from their coaches, but I think it's necessary because East Providence is the better team, and they need to toughen it up here.
Yeah, they need to show the fact that they are the better team here, and it appears that Woonsocket has been able to stay with them only on the effort of a couple big plays. East Providence has definitely outplayed Woonsocket in the first half, if not for some sloppy tackling. Mazias.
That mini explosion that you may have heard on microphone was the door blowing shut here in the press box.
Woonsocket just took time out here.
At this time, at the 30-yard line, Athletic Director Ken Reel requests that former state inductees.
As you can hear in the background, we'll be having a special halftime today, so stay tuned. Stay with us for the special ceremony, as well as the great East Providence High School marching band, by far the best in all of Rhode Island. There are schools, Bob, that don't even send bands out with their football team. In fact, I think we are the only high school that sends a band out on the road, and there are many that don't even have them at their own home games.
Yeah, the sheer number of people that we have in the band here is a testament to John McNamara. Jack does a great job with the band, and I know you would agree with this. They are probably by far the best band in the state.
Well, we hear it all the time. We were in Coventry a little while ago, away at their field, and their fans were riveted from the seats at halftime. Had nothing but high praise for the Townie marching band. So here we go, with a minute 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Woonsocket hoping here to force a punt and to get the ball back with some time to go here in the first half.
Townie's at their own 20, going into the wind. Ammo, keeping it.
Gained about 7 yards on the play. Option, Amaral had Whiting, but elected to turn the ball up, and probably smart to do so on that play.
A lot of time left, a minute 34 seconds on the clock.
Third timeout.
once again for assistance on the Townie Sports Network. If you're not able to help us with the camcorder or doing some announcing, one of the things we could use, Bob, some donations, videotapes. So anybody out there would like to make a donation, just as a reminder, this is an all volunteer effort, and school department nor any other organization provides the equipment for us. We provide it ourselves. So anybody who would like to, if, at the very least, give us a donation of blank videotapes, we would appreciate that. We make copies available for the coaching staff to view their plays, and usually complimentary copies to the opponents. Conity, getting a handle on it, puts away a decent kick, gets a little bit of a Townie roll down to the 39-yard line.
39-yard line where the Dolphins will take over first.
Yeah, Conity bobbled that snap a little bit and was able just to get it away before Woonsocket was coming in on him.
Thanks, of course, to Jim Wilson, who is filming this game, producing and directing this broadcast today. And it's cold out there on that perch. He does a great job. We say thanks to Jim Wilson, the media center director of East Providence High School. Jackson, brought down by Brady and Piva.
Number 44, Lafon.
Yeah, Lafon looks like Woonsocket's going to a little bit of an unbalanced line here, and he looks like to be switching alignment to their strong side, the side they're going to run to.
One of the tacklers there, Bob, for East Providence, number 7, is a new player, Giddy. I actually don't know his first name. Tom, okay. Tom Giddy for the Townies. He's a player to watch, we've been told.
Again here, now what you want to do, you want to try to tackle them in bounds. And number 1 by Tony Lloyd pushed him right out of bounds instead of trying to make a hit and taking him down in bounds. As looks like Woonsocket has.
Looks like a 3rd and short.
It would appear to me they have the first down.
We're waiting for the signal. Does look like a first down with the ball. I haven't really seen any sign yet by anybody. Maybe a measurement called for.
Yeah, he looks like he was referee was a little confused here, and looks like it's a first down. Looks like he just said first down. He's gonna bring the chains in now.
Ken Simmons Sr., Ken Simmons Jr. on the chains, bringing the marker out. It is a first down.
So we have a first down just short of the 50-yard line.
Helped out also, I believe, by Mike Carbone. It's hard to see with that hood over his head holding the downs marker, but usually it's Mike Carbone Sr. So Woonsocket on the move, and look at that dirt blowing around in the back of the baseball field here as the wind is getting stronger. Jackson. Another missed tackle by the Townies. Finally, Emerald running him out of bounds. Justin Roach had him for a loss, but lost him.
Yeah, Lafon was able to get to the sideline and stop the clock after a gain of looks like about 2. But they don't have, it looks like, time is their enemy here. Is about 40 seconds to go in the first half, and they have about 50 yards to go.
Most of this half, Townie fans have been sitting on their hands, even though they've got the lead. Woonsocket has taken the momentum away from them, has taken a lot of the play away from them also. It's only a 5-point Townie lead. And Saravo almost breaking it down to the 40.
Saravo brought there.
Saravo again, straight up the middle. He gained about 9 or 10 on the play.
30 seconds and counting, and Woonsocket stops the clock. Flag on the play.
I don't think you can do that in high school football.
Yeah, you can.
Can you do that now?
Yeah, what happened? So it looked like maybe some motion Rules now allow high school
Yeah.
players to ground the ball, similar to what you see at the pro games. But
Full start.
you can't move when you're
Procedure penalty.
not supposed to.
Going across the Novans 5 yards, first and 15.
Ball was sent. The guy moved before the ball was sent.
Officials checking their watches. You got 30 seconds, 31 seconds on the clock. Give or take a second or two.
Penalty was against that team.
Clock is ticking. The first down play, first and 15. Back to pass, good pressure. And it's going to be almost picked off by Justin Rocha. But I tell you, Bob, he had the right side of the field.
Well, I can understand why not haven't thrown the ball yet. Woonsocket quarterback,
Second down.
number 16.
Looks like Chris Bourget, number 16.
Chris Bourget did not throw a good-looking pass there at all, and he almost threw it right to a red jersey, not to a white jersey. I mean, and they're in a.
Well, some good team tackling on that play.
Yeah, it appears that Woonsocket here could run out of time
As the
here.
ball for about the 42-yard line.
Woonsocket a bit disorganized here as the clock is ticking away, and that's the end of the half. With the score, East Providence 18, Woonsocket 13. So, Bobby, I mean, it's kind of a not a good feeling kind of lead here as
The wind for this quarter. The wind, it seems to be shifted, and
Nick Serrato, the kickoff for the Villanova.
the wind blow seems to be blowing south. Kickoff taken by Rocher around the 24. Picks it up, and he's tackled about the 35-yard line. He gained about 11 yards.
Tackled by number 58 for Woonsocket, number 58, Neil Fernandez.
Neil Fernandez from Woonsocket made the tackle for Woonsocket. East Providence will begin from their own 35-yard line. East Providence comes out in the split wishbone. Straight dive to Mejias, breaks off tackle, breaks tackle at the line of scrimmage, still going. Across the 45, the 40, down to the Woonsocket 37-yard line. Mejias with a gain of 29 on the play.
Ball spotted inside the 40 to the 37-yard line, first and 10.
That was a big play starting off the second half, Bob, and Mejias broke one tackle at the line of scrimmage and then just fought for extra yards as he crossed the 50.
well, you know, we talked with head coach Sandy Gorman at halftime, and as we talked about earlier, he's not happy with the defense, but he acknowledges that, you know, he thinks they can do it. And it's just a matter now of correcting that, those missed tackles. Offense he's happy with. And there's a reason why, wide open, was Tony Lloyd and Brian just missing him.
Brian Emerald there had two plays open. He had Serpent down the middle open on a little post, and he had Lloyd open on a straight fly there, Bob. Just a poor pass there, as he should have hit him as he was wide open. Had 5 yards between him and the nearest defender.
And I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you, but he probably got so excited and nervous on that. He saw the man wide open. It shouldn't happen, but those things do happen.
Poor pass. Fumble here.
Tune in Monday night at 9 and find out.
You do watch the Howard Stern show.
11 here, Bob, from their own 38-yard line.
Arrow in trouble. He's going to have to run it. Across the 30. All the way down to the 25-yard line.
Made a good read there, Bob, as he was just about to be sacked about his own 44-yard line. Broke up the middle to a huge hole, buried his head at the 35.
Well, and you know, Brian Amell has done that this season so effectively. He's turned into one of the top quarterbacks in the state, in the league. When he decides that he has to pack it away and run, he's one of the stronger runners we've seen. And he's a junior. Straight ahead is Maziaz.
Gained about 4 on the play.
That's a nice gain by Maziaz after a first down.
Maziaz straight ahead for about a 5-yard gain.
Let's see if we can get Ken Reel to stop over the broadcast booth there at County Sports Network. Ken, I assume you're pleased with the great halftime activities and show put on by everybody associated with the high school.
Excellent, excellent. It was terrific. Mr. Venetero and the Student Council, King and Queens Court, the Hall of Fame and inductees and the honorees that were here today, which was subsequent to an excellent banquet last night. We had a nice time at last night's banquet. Ronnie Wilson, Mr. Les Carson, and Steve Rosnahan were on it. And this just ends a beautiful weekend, and hopefully the Townies will continue to keep the score in the winning column as they're marching the ball down the field.
Quickly, as we're watching the play on the field, you're listening to Ken Reel, Townie Director of Athletics. For any of our viewers out there who want to get involved in the Hall of Fame committee, it's open to any membership.
Yes, Mr. Resendiz, who's the chairperson right now of that committee, welcomes your input, welcomes your involvement. Also, just while I have a minute, Tuesday night, I don't know if we'll get the word to you by then, but big soccer night here, girls soccer and boys soccer doublehead, 5 and 7:30. East Providence gets Barrington, and the boys soccer game at 7:30.
Well, some may be watching this game now on a Monday night, so that's a good point. Tomorrow night, come on out here to Pierce, a big soccer doubleheader, and we're going to try to cover at least some of that doubleheader. Ken, we just want to say from all of us that are associated with East Providence Athletics, none of this would happen without the work that you and I know your assistant Phil Ritchie do, but in particular, we're just so grateful to have you in this post doing such a great job, and you don't hear it enough, so we'll tell you once again, congratulations and a big thank you from all of us.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rodericks, and thank you from everyone, but most importantly, thank you for not raining today. It's been a real scary day, and we're looking like we're going to get through this game dry.
Well, we missed that one. Ken, we'll talk to you again. Thank you.
On 2nd and 11 there, Bob, a minute ago, Woonsocket on a blitz stopped waiting for a no gain. So now it puts us in a situation in 3rd and appears to be about 12 yards. Pass. Patoma in the flat.
That's Patoma. Touchdown. Bobby, that was a nice pass, almost like a timing play.
Yeah, a little play action pass, and Ammo was able to float the ball over the Woonsocket defender's head, and Patoma made a nice over-the-shoulder catch and was able to waltz in for about a 17-yard touchdown score. Now 24-3, 24-13, and it appears that Roach is in for the to try the conversion.
Well, and you know, again, it seems to be a familiar pattern. The Townies come out, they struggle a bit, they break on top early, but the other team comes back in. We hit halftime, sometimes tied, as right now we see Roach putting it up.
No good.
And it's no good to the right side.
Wide right that time.
And that seems to be the pattern here again today. Woonsocket is still in this game, but you have that feeling that the Townies are slowly pulling away from this one.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that if it wasn't for 2 big Woonsocket plays, this game has been totally dominated by the Townies, and you know they've just taken the play to Woonsocket today.
In fact, if it weren't for some of the poor tackling and missed tackles, you know, it's questionable whether Woonsocket would be on the scoreboard.
That's exactly correct, Bob.
So I think it's safe to say this coaching staff, I mean, now you've been there, Bob, you've been a coach, of course you've played. What would you do as a head coach to try to correct some of those problems? Because against the Hendricken, I don't know that you can recover from mistakes like that.
No, you can't tackle against the better teams, which Woonsocket is one of these better teams. They do appear to have superior athletes. East Providence does appear to have a superior team, but against a team like a Hendricken, you can't get away with poor tackling, missed tackling, because you can't win games like that.
Taken at the 10-yard line. Great pursuit by Max Whiting. Whiting with a tremendous tackle on the kickoff.
It was an attempt at a reverse there, and Whiting had nothing with that reverse, and he nailed Jackson about the 14-yard line. Again, another solid play beginning the third quarter here. See if the Townies can shut them down, avoid the big play, get the ball back, put another score in, and I think game would be pretty much over, Bob.
Townies have come out of the chute flying after the half. Well, a good maybe 3 yards on the play.
Get about 4 on the play, second down.
Bobby, you look ahead for this Townie team, and it's basically a young team, and there is some spectacular talent coming up from the junior highs. Young Stevie Silver at Riverside Junior High. He scored another 3 touchdowns in the game against Martin. He's had, I think, 3 or 4 games this year when he has scored 3 or more touchdowns. Chris Robolo over at Martin Junior High. We've got young Hazard player, Joel Hazard. Nowhere to go, but he gets away a little bit. Finally, the Townies close in. Looks like everybody on the defensive squad.
Yeah, we had a day. It looks like about 8 or 9 guys had a shot at him that time, and he was tackled for about a 5-yard loss. And again, that was good pursuit by the Townies defense. Again, though, the first guy did not wrap, allowing him to get away, and created that team effort there. And we got a 3rd and 10 here. This is a big, big down for the Townies.
3rd and 10 from the 14, call it the 15-yard line. Woonsocket, under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. Incomplete as he overthrows Ben Jarvis.
Burchett had Jarvis open that time, just overthrew him, and Woonsocket going with the wind didn't seem to affect that pass. It was just, a little bit overthrown, and should bring up a punting situation as Woonsocket's on their own 14. Again, we're back with the 2-back return system here with short back being Rocher and the deep back being Whiting. I can't see this punt going more than 20, 25 yards.
Very strong wind coming across the field, and you see the wind catch that ball.
Hit the back of the Townie. You have to know where the ball is on a punt. You can't let the ball hit you, and that is a fumble, unless they rule that he was blocked into him.